What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Good morning. Welcome to another Transfer View Friday morning, end of the month, nearly going into July. One player in the bag in Mason Mount. They all laughed at us. They say that we don't sign players in June. Yes, we do. It's changed. Yeah, there's a lot of change going on. A massively jam-packed show for you this morning. At the top of the hour, David Gea contract expires today. Like Owen said yesterday, there's people who actually got countdowns for this.
It's the final countdown to later. No, come on, it's disrespectful that people are doing that kind of stuff. But people are doing it legitimately.
People are doing it. People are doing it. People are doing it. So we're going to talk about what that means today, because that is a significant day today. Sheikh Jassim update as well. There's been a piece by Laurie Whitwell that was talking about Sheikh Jassim. Mason Mount medical soon. John Murto praise. Freddie McTominay exits as well. So much to get into. And also with the David Gea situation, how that ties into Andre Onana, with kind of even more reports suggesting that there is going to be imminent contacts, or contacts have already started between Manchester United and Inter for Andre Onana. So we're going to talk about that as well. So a lot to get through. House rules, you don't know what it is. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And before we carry on, not to keep dwelling on the past. It's not dwelling. It's actually positive. But I was going through a lot of the comments yesterday from the day that we had yesterday, which was just unbelievable at the channel. It was mental from our point of view, like stream after stream, then this, then that, then this, then that, pillar to post. But when I was coming home from TalkSport late, and you just, in your bag and just relaxing and thinking about what happened during the day, I was extremely proud. I was. And big up to every single one of you that wished the channel well, that was impressed by what we did, and excited by what we did yesterday with David Gea, and in general, just with the way we've been covering things, because, we're a baby. We're two. We've been going 2 years, and to be in that ecosystem of, big platforms and big channels, and we got loads of messages from loads of big outlets yesterday saying, oh, well done on this, well done on that. Not from some just acted like you just don't exist, but we don't need accolades from everyone, but the general consensus of everybody, we're happy to do our part. And that's what we do. When somebody does something well in the space, we just big them up, because that's what it's about. So yeah, big up to everyone, man.
I forgot to tell you yesterday, and I've just remembered this now, and this sums him up. Him up. So before you played FIFA yesterday, and you just broke the story and all that kind of stuff, KG called me. And I'm talking to him on the phone, and I'm doing all this stuff here, blah, blah, blah. And we're chatting about the interview, going, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. I'm going, I know, it's massive news, incredible stuff. And he went, yeah, and I was watching the interview, and that guy, he lives in a castle. And I went,
oh, what? For God's sake.
I went, he lives in a castle.
What, with maids walking past in the background?
He went, yeah, I saw people walking around in the background. It's incredible, his house. I went, KG, that's the Bloomberg office. He went, oh.
He's actually got...
That makes more sense. That's his house. In his house, apparently, he sits at a desk with his headset on with a million other people behind him.
He's... this is what I mean about this kid, yeah? He's got genuine... what does he mean he thinks he lives in a castle? Did he actually say that to you?
He went, his house is really nice. I think he lives in a castle. It's massive.
So that means he thinks David Gea just got maids that are just walking about.
I don't know.
Oh no, he's mad,
and honestly, I was laughing on the phone, proper laughing, and he was just going, yeah.
He kept that quiet.
Because I forgot. In the midst of everything going on yesterday, I forgot. But that is genuinely true as well. No exaggeration, no BS. That happened.
But you just wouldn't look at that and think that's his house. You just wouldn't. I can't. And this is why when I see people, and people automatically go, where's KG, really nice, man? Where is he? Oh, where? This is why I say, listen, you can't be around him too much. He's insane.
He's like, his house is really nice. I was like,
tell me he didn't just say that.
I was like, what? Look, KG's in the chat. He says, I did say it.
Why? But why? He was joking. He was working on new material.
He wasn't joking.
He was joking.
I swear to you,
There's
was not
no
joking.
way that was real. He couldn't have thought that was his house. It couldn't be like with all the little booths and people in the background. It just looked like such a workplace that you can't think it's a house. But anyway, we have got a show to do. Jesus, this guy, David De Gea, exit.
Yes.
Is it? Today's the day where his contract runs out, and let's be honest, we are absolutely no closer to him signing a new deal. That's for sure. What is the latest? What's happening?
So, yeah, a bit of an update when it comes to David De Gea and, in turn, Andre Onana too, I guess. So, when it comes to the Andre Onana part of things, Gianluca Damasio, said late last night that the day on Friday, June 30, that being today, will be decisive in understanding whether Manchester United will present an offer for the Inter Milan goalkeeper. Inter are asking 50 million plus bonuses for the man between the sticks. Now, obviously, you spoke to David Ornstein on TalkSport last night. And he said that there is clearly a good chance that David De Gea will become a free agent. Andre Onana, I found quite interestingly, he said that they're one of the options that United are considering to replace him if he leaves. United are talking to his representatives, but it's not advanced yet. Kind of, I guess, suggesting that today, as Gianluca Damasio is saying, is the key thing, because at the end of today, if they decide, okay, which way you're going to go regarding David De Gea, that's when the pursuit of Onana really gets ramped up. It was also reported from the Telegraph too that even if De Gea does not stay this summer, Man United do want to come back and give him the send-off he deserves, which I found quite, given the situation going on. We still want to give you a nice send-off though.
Yeah.
If the relationship is ending, they do want to end it on the best possible terms. Now, obviously, a lot of people were talking a couple of days ago about the yawning tweets that he did. Now, according to the Telegraph, their sources suggest that De Gea is actually just bored with the speculation and, in particular, suggestions that he had signed a contract with Manchester United that they then reneged on by not themselves signing it too. So he's kind of yawning at that, maybe suggesting that isn't true. I don't know. But they do say that a new contract, again, was formally offered in March to De Gea, but the player delayed, and both him and Manchester United were taking their time to reflect on what to do next, kind of suggesting that maybe it was also partially on De Gea that if he'd acted quickly, maybe he wouldn't be in this situation right now too. After the formal contract offer in March, Manchester United eventually changed the terms on the offer, reducing its length and the financial package. It is this offer that is still on the table if De Gea wants to take it up. But of course, there are many different ramifications if he was to take up this current offer. He would not be guaranteed to be the number one. He would be on a significantly reduced wage. And it would still appear that they would still be pursuing another goalkeeper, Manchester United too. It's also been reported just in the last couple of minutes from La Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy as well, that the first formal meeting between Manchester United and Inter for Andre Onana will take place today. So everything kind of hinges on today, Flex, pretty much. De Gea possibly leaving and the meetings for Onana. What direction do you see this going in the end of at the end of today?
I see. It might not be done by the end of today, so I don't think we'll get like, personal terms agreed Onana. I don't think we'll get that today. But in terms of the way it's going, I think it's heading the way of De Gea leaving. I really do. I just with all the limbo. Okay, with David De Gea putting the yawning emoji because he's bored of the speculation and potentially, again, we don't know exactly, but that piece you said claiming that it's more bored of, is it really true that he signed it, but they walked away and didn't sign it. And maybe the order of events could be wrong in these things. Just because it's in the news, it's in the media and it's been reported, it doesn't mean it's true. It means it's somewhat true. What is true is that he hasn't signed a new deal yet. That's what we do know. But in terms of, I know it was breaking news and a lot of outlets claimed it, but sometimes when you're closer to the deal or you're the actual player, you look at bits and go, that's not true. I didn't sign that one, but they have offered me less. But whatever. He hasn't signed a new deal. So I think he is going to leave, because we were saying it before, weren't we? Before it even come out about that second contract and the withdrawal of the first offer, we were like, we could have announced De Gea ages ago. Like the week after City won the treble was probably the best time. Like if think about it this way, someone who's been here as long as De Gea, someone who's such a big player for Man United, or big figure, should I say? Because when you say big player for Man United, no, he's not. He's a disgrace, and he's been crap ever since we bought him. He's not. Don't you call him a big player? a big figure at United. He's been there for a long time. Man United, whether you agree with it or not, they would have been in a rush or would have said at the earliest opportunity to announce David De Gea. After 12 years, that announcement video and the fuss that would have been made about him if he would have signed a new deal, they wouldn't wait long on that. They wouldn't. They'd just get it done. It would look all great. He would be happy, very happy to be here, very happy to carry on. All of that stuff, how David is. And that's how he is, isn't it? That's all he'll say. And he'll carry on. And then they would have had a montage of his best saves in the 12 years. And then in all the comments, people would have said, can't believe this has happened. We're a disgrace and a cheat. Yeah? That's what would have happened. But the longer it went on, we're like, we all kept saying it. We're like, haven't announced it yet. It's not hard.
Yeah, everyone's like,
there's no one in for him. It's not a willy won't he thing. Like,
everyone went, why is this taking so long? Like,
yeah,
it was agreed. Again, they said in March. It's
agreed.
Done. Yeah.
And during the season, I remember you saying quite a lot, and not even just you, just again everyone who even it made people angry. De Gea's not going anywhere. Like, he's one. Like, that's what it was.
Yeah. And that was based off those reports saying that he's going to agree a new contract. There was never any. Think about this. Actually, you bring up a good point. There was never at any point this season was there ever any noise that De Gea wasn't going to stay. The idea that he's going to go. I mean, people were saying that he's got to go. KG said it a million times, and we all had our own journeys to get seemingly to a kind of, a similar kind of point, a similar destination. But at no point throughout this season did you ever hear anything in terms of the media from the club's end or from reporters suggesting that De Gea was going to go. No. There was maybe opinion pieces suggesting that Ten Hag might be sort of, hoping that De Gea could improve. There was discussion suggesting that his distribution needed to be better, but there was never this, he's going to go at the end of the season. His contract's not going to be picked up. I don't think that was ever thought of. The only thing that was ever said throughout the season about his contract is when it gets picked up, it's not going to be for the same wage that he's currently on. It's going to be reduced. And everyone went, okay, well, that makes sense. And then maybe that's when the discussion really started off. But you basically saying then he's not as good as, his contract values him as. And if that is the case, shouldn't you then look to alternatives? But it's only really been, in the last 3 weeks, actually, like, he's going to go. Yeah. He's probably not going to stay. And I do find it kind of not funny, but it's just kind of wild that seemingly Ten Hag came to the conclusion that De Gea wasn't the right guy for what he wants to do at around the similar time as everyone else. Sort of around that sort of biology. If that contract offer was made in March, seemingly it wasn't that long after that contract offer was made that he went, actually, I don't think he's not the guy. This. Yeah. He should go in a different direction. And as we've said before, I don't disparage Erik Ten Hag for coming to that decision because I do think ultimately it's the right decision. I think it's the right call. And
that is being ruthless.
Yeah. And again, that is being ruthless. It's kind of the idea of, okay, we've come to this decision. You're not the right guy, but you can still kind of stay if you want to. Maybe there's very murky waters here involved in all of this, and we're coming into as they say, today's the decisive day, rather. That his contract expires today. We still don't know. No. We have no idea.
No. Well, we do have a bit of we do have an idea. To be fair,
well, yes, but I think
with the Onana thing building, we've got an idea of where it's leaning, but in terms of an official capacity, we don't.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. You would, in an ideal world, this talks would have broken down a week ago, and they go, right, we're going to go different directions. We're going to put something out saying that De Gea is going to leave in a week, and we do a big thing. We organize it,
exactly.
This, that, and the other. But it's the ambiguity coming into the final day of a contract of a guy that has been here a long time and does have records at the club. There should be an element of sort of class around this, and maybe we're asking for too much because when it comes to player departures over the last decade or so, we haven't really acted that classy, have we? So maybe that's why.
And actually, a lot, to be honest, really, Owen, if we're looking at the general consensus online, and a lot of you guys watching here in the chat, the community, a lot of people don't care. A lot of people actually don't care. Here's Cam. De Gea is the only man who can stop City. Send him there. There's Cam. He's straight in on cue. Pick up Cam, by the way.
Well, I saw Cam last night or something like that. I wish I actually had it up in. I wish I had it up in front of me. Actually,
What's he done?
Let me find it.
You
Well,
gotta love Cam, innit? You gotta love Cam.
So yesterday, Flex, you responded to me on Twitter. It's been nearly 2 years. Nearly 2 years.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Can I just come clean on something there?
You thought you got the wrong date, didn't you?
Absolutely. And
I was thinking that. I was like, why is Flex gone a year already? And basically I did a tweet that at the end of July,
another KG.
Yeah, at the end of July last year, going 1 year ago today, I appeared on United View for the first time, rah, rah, rah. And then out of nowhere, late last night, Flex responds going, a year already. Incredible. I went, that was last year.
Wait, do you know what, Owen? Do you know what as well? What you didn't actually hang on a minute. Did you pin that to the top of your thing only today? Yesterday?
No, that's been pinned since I posted it. Late July last year.
Why did it come up on my thing? It came up on my thing like you'd put it out today. So I went on that pin thing for no reason. Because then I looked at it, I was like,
to it
it's
last
29th.
Year. That's why I was confused as well, because you responded to it last year. So I was like, I don't know why. So anyway, but
listen,
so when
any excuse to big you up is good.
So when Flex responded to that, obviously more people started responding to it. So did Cam. So did Cam.
What did he say?
He responded to it. The first thing he said in the tweet is, David disgrace, David did cheat. In all seriousness, top work. Deserves much more appreciation than you get. And I went, he started off with De Gea. You can't get it off the brain. And it's not even my anniversary. You know, we've got a month to go.
No, and then I looked at it and I said, "She says July." I was like, "It's not even now."
And 2022.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I was like, "There's been so much praise. If I delete this, it's going to send the wrong message."
I saw it at the time, and I went, "This is very strange from Flex. I'm not sure what kind of movie he's making."
Cam says, "I was smashed. Look at him. Look at this guy. Honestly." Yeah, I don't know why I done that. It was after like 5 minutes.
Saying we're just getting started. And I thought, I said this last year. I didn't have the heart to say to you, like, that was a year ago, Fleck.
Honestly, when the penny dropped, I was like, so many people have reported on this big and Owen up. It'd be quite nice for him to see this, actually. I can't delete this.
I was so confused.
I've got this completely wrong. Well, I'll tell you what, though, when it does get to the 29th of July in a month's time, when I don't say anything, just go back to that.
Well, last year you forgot because I snuck it into a show at the end. Do you remember? I snuck it into a show at the end, and you and KG got me gifts, which were things that happened to be around you at the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, your memory's good, man. Jesus. I did not remember that. But yes, back to this. De Gea, De Gea. So I, obviously asking Ornstein yesterday. Big up to everyone who commented below the post I put out, actually, because you guys were saying what to ask him. It's good. I think it's really important when you get opportunities like that are just really quick, one-offs sort of thing. Use it for the people. You know what I mean? Everybody wanted to know about Onana yesterday after signing Mount. And the first thing we asked him on TalkSport was about Mason Mount. So there was nothing more for me to, let's get out there. We want to know about other signings. So well done, everyone, on sort of picking it out as an answer, as a question. Sorry. But yeah, his answer was, he said, didn't he? He said that he's clearly an option and they are talking to his representatives. But as he understands it, as of last night, which we spoke to him about 9 p.m., there was nothing advanced yet. So let's see if that changes. Yeah, so we do need to remember that there is nothing advanced. There's nothing imminent with Onana. We haven't even subjected a bit, put in a bid, and we haven't even agreed personal terms or anything like that. This has all been just the initial discussions or feelers, putting feelers out there with his representatives to see. I don't even think we've actually approached Inter. Inter have made it clear, according to reports, what their price is, but have we sat down and had proper concrete talks with them yet? Those type of reports haven't come yet. What we have had, obviously, is discussions with his representatives and Inter being aware of the interest and Inter setting out their price. So let's see. I do think now that the contract has gone down and he hasn't signed it, it's significant, isn't it? I don't think from there they work it out.
Do you like that clip I sent you as well of Onana?
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. I'm not the most God-fearing person, but just the way he came across and you know what it is as well. This is where we're a bit not fickle as fans, but you don't have to do a lot to get us on board if you say the right stuff. I
saw the clip. First person I sent it to, KG. Yeah, so I thought I know what it takes to get him excited.
And he's Nigerian as well, isn't it?
Cameroon.
Oh, Cameroon. Sorry, I thought he was Nigerian.
Okay. And I sent it to KG, and immediately he tweeted it when I'm really excited.
Yeah.
And basically, the clip of referencing, he was asked before the Champions League final. I think Inter have just qualified for the Champions League final, and they said, you know, are you scared of City? No. You go, what do you think about Erling Haaland? Do you fear him? Fear him? Why would I fear him? I don't fear any man. The only person I fear is God, and he's not playing out on the pitch.
Yeah,
I do not fear
I
any
don't
man.
see him. I don't see him.
And then you kind of did see the Ten Hag Ajax philosophy in him, because they said, well, how are you going to beat City? By working hard. And they went, thank you very much. And then they end the interview, and he turns around to him again and goes, why'd you ask me if I fear him? He's like, I don't fear him.
Yeah, it's that's the, do you know what it is? Yeah, that was the bit that really made it for me. When the interview's all said and done, he's like, right, let me talk to you. Why you don't ask me stuff like that? Scared of a man that breathes the same air as me, that eats and shits the same as I do. Scared me? What, you think God's on the pitch? Oh, it was wicked. And Rich, big up Rich as well. Part of the UV team, big up Rich. He says that he's actually retired from Cameroon as well, so we won't lose him from AFCON.
Because he didn't play the World Cup, because he went there.
He went home. He
was there, and he went home. But the reason why he went home is because of how he plays out from the back, right?
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, spraying the ball around, blah blah blah. Their coach went, "Don't do that. We're not doing that." He went, "I'm going home then."
Yeah, that's a bit. I'm glad. Do you know what it is though? I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that Ten Hag knows him really well, because he does seem like a big character. Which, like you said to me yesterday, Owen, like, and we always say, you need it to be a Man United goalkeeper. You need to, you know, that's one thing. David De Gea doesn't have that side of it, but to be a goalkeeper between the sticks for Man United for that long, you've got a bit about you. I know people say he's a coward and that, but he's not your stereotypical flamboyant, mad, shouty goalkeeper. He's not. Like, remember how shell shocked he looked when Martinez started doing that kind of shit to him. Absolutely, just he couldn't believe it. Oh my god, like, you know, just shaking him, throwing him into the goal, slapping his face. Come on, all that. De Gea was like, yeah, come on, yeah. He was trying to keep up. With.
He fell into the net once, didn't he?
Yeah. So I mean, he fell into the net. Yeah, it's mad. But when you look at Onana, he does have that about him. To play like that, you have to have a lot about it. Same with Edison, isn't it? Alisson as well, but Alisson does it in a different way. Alisson's kind of crazy without being crazy. He's crazy whilst being calm. Edison's just nuts. But I am glad that Ten Hag is his guy, because you need someone who really kind of understands him to
you navigate. Look at the two personality types in terms of goalkeepers have succeeded in modern Manchester United history, right? You've got the sort of Schmeichel type, who is, I would say he's as eccentric as an Onana.
No, but he's got
it. Personality, you know, and again, somewhat eccentric. I mean, you know, this guy's, you know, he would be screaming at people, flying out at people, going up for corners. I mean, you name it. Big personality. You've got the opposite side of an Edwin van der Sar, who was just ultimate composure, ultimate cool, nothing phased him. And even he made a couple of mistakes. I remember a few period of times when he'd be on a bit of shaky ground, but ultimate composure. And again, because he had experience at that point. So again, you need a different personality type when it comes to being a Manchester United goalkeeper. And maybe that will succeed. We've also, Flex, got like 1 million super chats.
A million. Let's get them read out. Yeah, there's 1 million to read, so let's read out the 1 million. Lil Yo-Yo says Fleck on Smoke exclusives plus Ornstein yesterday. Yeah, big up, appreciate that. And the Ornstein wasn't my scoop. I just, you know, I was on TalkSport.
You were there.
And, you know, they had him as a guest. Yeah, so it wasn't me getting a scoop, you know, but big up. So Marcus says Flex, great interview yesterday with David Hellier. Owen, did you figure out who Beres Hammond is? If not, step aside. Now, Beres voice. Yeah. Did you figure it out? Did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. He was too busy playing his wrestling game.
I was beating Josh every single time. And Josh for a big strop, a big wobbly. This bloody game. Oh, it's really buggy. It's not buggy for me, mate, when I win every time. And the best thing was, I had a pigeon gallery of Flex and KG on the desk going, Josh, maybe you try and counter a little bit more. Maybe, KG was going, I've never seen a beating like this in my life. Josh left the room. Yeah,
he was angry. He was angry yesterday. He really was. Toxic Taliban says, oh no, just a member of the channel, new member of the channel. Big up to you. Vegeta Sama says, I've also been a member for 12 months, by the way, a year. Big up to you. Says, LOL, what happened to Benfica being worried that we were signing Onana because they need cash? I hope the David De Gea contract expires and gets a testimonial. Benfica being worried.
I think it means Porto, maybe.
Yeah. What happened to Porto being worried that we were going to sign Onana because they need the cash?
Because there was a story saying that Porto needed the money to sell, because that's why they were going to sell Diogo Costa. But Inter Milan, they're in the same position too. They need cash too, and that's why they think Onana's.
And it's mad. They literally got him for free.
Total profit, isn't it?
How mad that is.
Yeah. And and this is why I think it's a fairly decent deal because they're making a load of money on him, but he's got a contract till 2027. 50 million euro for a goalkeeper who's got a contract valid for 4 years. Ain't bad going. Yeah,
no, it's not. Sachiv, big up Flex. Thanks for having me on DR Sports. And don't worry, was trying to jinx Arsenal. Yes, big up to Sachiv. Just happened to be on the call-in show on DR Sports yesterday. And as soon as his name popped up, I went, oh, Sachiv, he's from the community. Big up. And it was good to actually see him in real life and speak to him. But at the end, he said, oh, yeah, and basically, and big up Arsenal and respect to them. Like, I hope they do really. And I went, hang on a minute, Sachiv, what's this? But he's just clarified it. So he's just trying to jinx them. He's trying a bit of the flex judge. So big up to you, Sachiv. It was great talking to you yesterday, man. SK says the board should have just straight up asked him to be second and oversee the transition to new keeper. This way, you're respecting David De Gea. He loves the club anyway. So just be honest. What are we doing? This feels snaky. Yeah, I agree with that, SK. If you do want him to, well, yeah, because the first offer was you're not really going to be the number one anymore, but you're going to be on reduced terms. But we want you to stay. That kind of is saying it, isn't it, Owen? That offering someone less wages and saying you might not be the number. I'm not going to always say you're my number one. That's literally what Eric Ten Hag said in public. So imagine what he said behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, but then it's strange because again, and we don't. If we knew the figures of the contract offer, maybe it would be a bit more. It'd make a bit more sense. But like, let's say they went, oh, 200K, but you're not going to be the number one. And then someone, I guess, sanity reared its head. Someone put their hand up and went, excuse me, a number two goalkeeper is going to be on 200K a week. If that's the number, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. So there's just the whole mechanism of how this thing's been handled is just not good. Not smooth.
It's mental. Steve says, I won't take the Mount slander from you lot. Not from us. No Mount slander here.
You got a lot of slander yesterday, Flex, for trying to imply that it was a good signing.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I'm getting rinsed, by the way. And even when I got to talk sports, a couple of Man United fans in there, they're like, Flex, one of the producers was like, no, I can't believe it. We need a six. We need a deep playmaker. Like, what's going on? This is a waste of money. But yeah, time will tell. Just remember, none of you rate him. I don't want to hear it when he's absolutely balling for us. Only Matisse or Matisse. Again, Steve, I can't lay without my doorstep. I don't know if you're talking to the community there. I said he's good. I said I don't think he's our biggest priority. I still won't shift on that. I'm not going to pretend like the season ended and I said top priority is get Mason Mount. But I do think he can be good for us. But we do need other things, and if we don't get them, then how effective will Mount be? I will say that. We focus. T says we focus on Onana Distro, but his shot stopping has huge question marks. He is the opposite of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but in goal. I mean, is that we will get. So let me finish these off quickly. Lil Yo says random stat. Heung-min Son became a year younger yesterday. I know, I read that.
Saw that,
due to in South Korean law. The previous law considers babies 1 year old from birth. Yeah, the time spent in the womb is added on.
Counted.
That's crazy, that isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Imagine that. So if you were going to buy him or he's going to get a contract renewal or something, go listen.
Suddenly got more expensive, It suddenly got more expensive. They go, actually, so did he go from, I think he's 30. So did he go from being 31 to 30? Is that what they're saying? I guess so.
Yeah.
So imagine, and it does change the way you look at someone, isn't it? Because you go 31, you go, and it's
12 months makes a difference.
And then they go, he's 30, you go, still got time left. Got time left.
So what, does he get to have his 30th birthday again?
I don't know.
That's crazy. Interesting. Anyone who's maybe Korean or knows a little bit about that, put it in the chat. I would love to know. Mike says the last comment about Onana shot stopping is a lie. He is a liar. He had the best save percentage in the Champions League last year. So there you go. Little comeback to that. Little comeback. Sanjeet says if we sign Onana, another episode with the We Talk Ajax lot, surely. Oh, Yeah, absolutely. It's just Danny says, can't wait for weekly Onana's Rabona / Cruyff turns. And Love's been a member for 4 months, always here as usual, supporting the channel. Says, guys, where do you rank De Gea around the current Premier League keepers? Big up, guys. Always grinding, best channel by far. Well, a lot of people talk about this, don't they? Saying, well, no one even wants David De Gea. Why is it only Saudi Arabia that's even in for him? Not anybody in the Premier League wants David De Gea on a free. And if you think about it, it is true. It is true. This is Man United's partially. This is Man United's number one being made available on a free. Yeah. But obviously there's loads of caveats to that because we kind of say
his wages are
number
massive.
one and his wages are huge. Yeah.
Because like they go, no, why is no other club in Europe going after him? Because he's on 375k a week, and they go, we can't afford that.
Yeah, but what about trying to offer him less? Like he knows, David Gea knows. Apart from Saudi, no matter where he goes, he has to be on a lot less. But even stay at Man United would have to stay a lot less. Even
that's why Saudi are going in for him though as well, isn't it? Because they go, we can afford those wages, we can improve upon them, and he's a big name. For this is another point that you would point out. If he's not a big name, why does Saudi want him? Because he's a big name. Because his name's got a lot of weight to it. He's got cachet in the bank when it comes to him. So,
yeah, because of what he's done, he's a coup for Saudi, of course. Like they want, they want anyone with big Premier League experience who's done well. They want all of the stars / former stars or whatever you want to call it. But Firmino's gone there as well. Everyone's bloody going there.
Yeah.
Cedar Ziyech bloody failed his medical. But yeah, so there's going to be way more to come from that. But where does he rank? I mean, a lot of people are going to say near the bottom, aren't they? Let's say what team? Who would he get into? Well, he wouldn't replace any of the other teams in the top six. At Chelsea, obviously they had Kepa. Well, actually, he replaced Lloris.
Spurs.
He replaced Lloris, but it's like you don't want to bang home about that because that's shit.
No,
but it'd get in. Kepa's not that great, and neither's Mendy. So as it stands at Chelsea,
you could argue, to be honest, there wouldn't be much of a difference between
not much of a difference. But the key is they want better. That's the key. Obviously not Arsenal, not Liverpool, not City. Leicester, is he? Yeah, he's better than
Leicester are relegated.
Oh yeah, so there you go. So he would have got in there all season.
Fucking reckless!
Brentford, no. Villa, no. Wolves, probably not.
Sarr got, haven't they?
Yeah, no.
He might get in there. Lopetegui played him when he was Spain coach.
Yeah. Someone said he replaces Pope. No, he doesn't replace Pope at Newcastle.
To be fair, Pope's adapted fairly well to the whole distribution thing.
Really well. Crystal Palace. Who's that? Guaita.
He getting goal at Palace.
Yeah, getting goal at Palace.
But when you say these things, Fleck.
Wouldn't get in at Brighton. I saw that in my own eyes.
He wouldn't get in Villa. He wouldn't get in Villa.
No.
I like Emi Martinez.
Yeah. Who else is there? Bournemouth. West Ham. Is he better than
He getting goal
Areola?
He getting goal West Ham.
And Fabianski.
Yeah. David Moyes style. He played there.
Yeah. But there's not a lot. So where does he rank? Luton, yeah.
Top half.
What? He's in the top half of goalkeepers
in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say that. De Gea replaces Leno at Fulham.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, just a bit.
He would,
maybe. Yeah. Look at Cam. Leno's better as well. Cam thinks he's the worst thing in the league, though. To be fair.
And again, it doesn't mean he's a terrible goalkeeper, but it also means, and again, the reason some of the teams we've said, like your West Ham or whatever, it's because they don't really do the whole playing out from the back stuff that much. It depends on the style as well. But again,
Cam is loving this, says Stephen. He says top half. Nah, you're having a laugh. Like I'm saying, are you crazy? Ash Adu says, when is Cam on? Needs stats of Mount's plans for United. Oh, don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. That is in the pipeline. That is coming. Andy says, De Gea wouldn't get in my house, let alone Prem teams.
Well, unless you let him in, obviously.
Yeah. Mizzy style, just walking up in people's yards. Yeah, exactly. Let's move on. Smash a like on the video. We've got nearly 400 likes. Let's get to 500. That'd be great. Nearly 2,500 people watching, as per every morning here on the Transfer Review. Sheikh Jassim update.
Yeah, so this is quite an interesting article written by Laurie Whitwell this morning. I don't know if you saw this, Flex. So
I did.
It's kind of a bit of a personality piece on this mysterious,
but it is from
buyer.
People. It isn't all just Laurie Whitwell's thoughts, is it? It's from somebody who knows him as well, no?
It's a big piece written by the Athletic. Laurie Whitwell is a part of it. A bit like with that Bloomberg one, I think it's a collaborative piece, shall we say.
There you go.
It says that Sheikh Jassim could be, quote, difficult to read. Sometimes, even though he would be chairing meetings at the Credit Suisse, he would almost appear uninterested. It was not uncommon to see him cross his legs and look away from the table and start puffing on a cigar. It continues by saying, a source, quote, Sheikh Jassim is acquiring a trophy asset, Manchester United. He likes to have nice things. I can understand why he wants an asset like Manchester United, because it makes everyone go, that's owned by Sheikh Jassim. Also, when talking about him being a fan of Manchester United, a former associate of his claims Sheikh Jassim being a lifelong Manchester United fan is genuine, adding that he watches every United game. Jassim's view is that the Glazer family have, quote, underinvested, and that, quote, there is a lot to do at United, which I think everyone would universally agree with when it comes to that. There being the 92 Foundation fifth bid has led to some familiar with the process to speculate that the winds have shifted in the Qataris' favour, although no one is getting carried away. They are preparing transactional documents, including shareholder agreements, so that the takeover, the sirens flack.
The sirens are sirening. The sirens are sirening. They can't believe what's been said about Sheikh Jassim. They can't believe it. They're saying, listen, how are you going to say this about Sheikh Jassim?
You know, the worst thing is I could hear him coming from such a far distance. And I thought, I started speeding up my reading, go, get quicker, get quicker, get quicker. Couldn't do it. But saying they're preparing transactional documents, including shareholder agreements, so that the takeover can go through immediately, but they are yet to hear back. So what do you make of all of that? Because the first few bits, he's difficult to read. Okay. You know, I look at this from both sides, right? When you spoke to David Hellier yesterday, he said about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he said, oh, he's a bit of a character. I think most billionaires probably are, to be honest. You know, most billionaires must have a character. The point about him crossing his legs and puffing on a cigar was a very strange inclusion for me. The part where they also say about acquiring United as a trophy asset, he likes to have nice things. So if he owns United, they can go, that's owned by Sheikh Jassim.
Did Laurie Whitwell say that bit? Or I think he's quoting that bit.
Yeah, that says a source. A source.
Yeah.
Someone
said it to him, yeah.
But at the same time, again, I look at that and I go, okay, like I remember, and I'm not doing whataboutism here. I'm just trying to play it fair down the middle. I also remember talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe. They said part of the reason he bid for United was it was about his legacy. He wanted his legacy to be that he was a Manchester United owner. What's the difference in terms of what's been said there? As far as him being a Manchester United fan, I mean, I think we can say, can't we? We heard that really early on into this process.
We were told that right at the start. Some people in Qatar told me that instantly, straight away. They said it'd be fantastic for you. They said the money's not a problem. The other teams would need to worry if he came because he's got serious money. And he really is a Manchester United supporter. He loves Manchester United. That we were told that by definitely people that I trust in Qatar, 1,000,000%. Let's put it that way. That's not me claiming sources and all this stuff. I'm just telling you the truth. And everything that we've kind of heard, kind of privately from the people in Qatar since then, has married up. I have to say, it really has. But I'm not that guy to do the in the know thing and put out updates and say, "Oh, I heard this and heard that." I'll just let it be, and then we'll see. But it kind of sounds a bit. I mean, Ten Hag suit's too big. Sounds a bit vociferous. Sounds a bit like, you know, when Simon Jordan was saying that about, well, you know, you see him and his suit looks too big, or who cares, man? Like, oh, he likes a cigar. Can't really. It's a bit quiet. Don't really.
He crosses his legs.
Couldn't give a shit. Like,
I'd do that. If I was at a banking meeting and he goes, "You looked uninterested," they're boring.
Yeah, exactly.
You tuned into a financial channel. You go, "Oh my god," you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be doing the same. I mean, the biggest thing I thought when reading this morning is that his view is that the Glazer family have underinvested and there's a lot of work to do at United. You go, well, bang on.
Exactly. I just think, look, I think opinion pieces are what they are, aren't they? They're their opinion, and everyone's entitled to it. So if Laurie thinks, to be fair, it sounds like he's just trying to do a bit of a profile on him, just to
and
get more information.
And again, he might just go like, well, that's what people said to me.
That's just what the people said to me, and
he's a bit, calm, and he's a bit
yeah.
reserved.
So I know people are saying,
fan.
yeah, I know some people are trying to obviously say that, it's because they don't want him. Athletic are kind of trying to. I just see it as they're just trying to gather more information on this guy, and this was the findings from what they did. It just doesn't really, like Cam says, it's a really weird inclusion. Yeah, I'm just like, it just doesn't matter. It might be true. It might be true. It probably is true, but it just isn't significant. It just doesn't matter, does it? If it said, done some diggings and actually he's not as rich as he says he is. Here's these accounts that say this company's worth this and the money's not really there. If it's different, you're trying to insinuate something concrete, but saying like a bit hard to read. He likes,
or he doesn't even support United.
Quiet.
That would be like, well, that's quite significant, isn't it? Or there's a picture of him in, I don't know, wearing a Man City shirt. You go, oh my god,
yeah,
that's
very
significant.
I don't like. To me, I just think it's a bit of a nothing.
He smokes cigars.
So.
Okay.
What? I don't care. Like, what he smoke what he wants.
I tell you what, I'd love it if a board meeting for United, they're talking transfers and people are doing that. And he goes, "You're boring me," and just
he probably does. That's big man energy. That's what I want to see. If it's boring, you lot, man, get on to the proper. Where's the players, man? Get another cigar, man. Tell these lot to hurry. That's what I want. Big boy energy. You know how serious? Actually, only serious people do the cigar thing. Cool people just have it there. Just the big man them have cigars.
Yeah,
that's what I want. So I'm happy that our potential owner just chills back on Cubans.
They go, Man United,
get shit done, man.
They go, Man United, we want an extra 15 million. Man United tax. What?
That's what I mean, bro. Big Cubans and silk shirts, bro. Chilling. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're going to move on from that pretty quick. It was just, it doesn't really, it's a bit, it's an opinion piece, isn't it? But it's something that's not going to have any bearing on what we feel towards
Breaking news, the Takeover has collapsed because he crosses his legs.
Yeah, it's an opinion piece. It's one of them ones where when you work in mainstream media, your editor probably says to you, right, we need a bit more info. Can you just do something on that? And then you're tasked with it. You're probably writing it going, oh, bloody hell.
Well, look, there's no doubt it's interesting because, again, there's not been a lot written about him, the guy, the person.
Yeah.
It's newer information. As far as how relevant it is, that's probably where it sort of stops, isn't it? You go, well, I guess,
Yeah, Dan Watson says, morning, lads. Any coincidence the Athletic and other outlets are now doing Sheikh Jassim, Sheikh Hassan profiles? Is that a different Sheikh, or does he mean Sheikh Jassim profiles? I think he means Sheikh Jassim, no?
Yeah.
Sheikh Jassim profiles, etc. I feel momentum gaining. This needs to end soon. So Dan's looking at it from the other way. Like, it's no coincidence that they're trying to get more information on him now. That wasn't the case. And that, I kind of get that of like, actually, we better take this guy seriously. He could win. We need to find more out about him.
Yeah, exactly.
That. Yeah. WJ Barrett says, KG is difficult to read, but we all love him.
Very.
Ahmed says, being difficult to read is quite an important and very useful attribute for any successful businessman. These undertones are sus as hell. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people saying, look, just say it, mate. The Athletic and people there, they just don't want to see Sheikh Jassim win this bid. That's a lot of people do share that view. Karen will say, they made Jassim sound like a supervillain with that story. Seriously, yeah, it made him sound like bloody Scarface. Only United would let the Golden Glove winner go when a striker is the need. We'll regret this, and I have receipts on everyone who wanted him out. Carrymore, not having it, said, listen, be careful what you wish for. We're going to regret this with De Gea leaving. Satchev says, suppose we are done with 2 deals. Mount and Onana completed. Which 2 strikers would you reckon? The striker one is really difficult right now because I have no idea. I have no idea who we're going to get. I really don't. Rasmus Højlund, maybe. WJ Barrett says, all this means is our Tarns will be the owner. Love it. And SK says, I would love to be in the room when Murto and Arnold sat in front of Jassim explaining what they've done. WJ Barrett says, bring in Altans, aka Escobar. I'm here for it. Big up WJ Barrett.
Yeah.
Smash a like on the video. On to the next. In fact, we've got to pick up. This always happens, really, because we spent so long on the first one.
Yeah.
But Mount Medical soon.
Yes. So again, it's kind of just picking up from what happened yesterday is that Mason Mount is currently on holiday. So he's going to have his medical when he returns next week. Non-internationals are due back at Carrington on Thursday. So again, we're going to be getting a Mason Mount medical next week. Shouldn't be any issues. When do you think we get the official announcement, Fleck, from the club as to Mount? He's a United player. I mean, there's no doubt now he's going to be on the tour. We are going to have a signing on the tour, which is positive. But when do you think that gets announced?
So what is it? The 30th now. He's on holiday, so after the weekend medical. So Monday, Tuesday, midweek, Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. Well, actually, because they can do the whole, we've agreed a deal to sign Mason Mount pending the medical, and sometimes they do it that way, don't they?
Yeah, they can do sort of a double header. Sometimes they do the agreement in principle, and then the one where he actually,
but
so they might do that.
Would they bother doing an agreement in principle? Maybe. You can't rule that out.
Over the weekend to build some, exactly. I mean, to be fair, that could come at any point. They've agreed in principle. They've already done it. That could come at any point today.
So that actually could come today, really, or tomorrow. That could come imminent, and then say, following a medical and successful whatever paperwork or not work permit, but when they add in little stuff that they have to do, then they announce the second one is Mason Mount is a red, and it's a picture of him in all the kits and all that training kits. So and then his release interview. So that's the second part of the unveiling, isn't it? Really? So exactly. It depends.
Yeah, exactly. But that's basically the latest news when it comes to Mason Mount. We can move on very quickly. Speaking of Mason Mount, does John Murtough, Flex, deserve some praise? Now, that's something that's quite interesting because Samuel Luckhurst is writing that Manchester United sources say John Murtough, quote, held the line and did a really good deal yesterday. In the yesteryear, United may have buckled and overpaid. Mason Mount would have to win multiple major trophies over coming seasons to trigger this £5 million in add-on, suggesting that actually to get to 60, they're going to have to do a lot. And if he does all of that kind of stuff, then United would be more than happy to pay that £5 million. One club executive told John Murtough last year, quote, you're Manchester United, you've got loads of money. United ended interest in a player believed to be Benjamin Šeško after they were quoted almost double the fee RB Leipzig paid to RB Salzburg. So they're trying to sort of suggest that John Murtough deserves some praise for how he handled that Mason Mount situation. Do you think he deserves that praise, Fleck?
Nah, it's too big a word. That I don't think. I don't. Nah. Not. And this is not trying to bring down and talk negative for no reason. Let's just call it as it is. Essentially, we have overpaid for him. We have. He shouldn't be 55 million. I know. Like it's worth what the other team says it is and all that stuff. But Mason Mount shouldn't be 55 with a year left on his deal. But okay, it's 10. It's probably 15 more million than I think he's worth. But all right, cool. One as well, and two, sorry, we have to be really careful with the praise because we don't know where this is leading. Like Mason Mount is not the biggest priority to get.
I'll praise you at the end of the window. I'll praise you at the end of the window.
If by the end of the window, considering, because what I do sympathise with John Murtough is that he's working under the Glazers and budget wise and trying to negotiate when you don't know how much money you've got to play with and the Glazers are moving how they've been moving. That must be difficult for anyone trying to operate that. So I appreciate that.
When they say, you're Man United, you've got loads of money, he goes, I've got lots of credit and I have lots of money.
Exactly. And actually that credit, I can't even go to him anymore and put more on. So he is, he's working with restraints. I understand that. Constraints, sorry. So I take that into account. But if we get to the end of the window and we don't have a striker, we don't have a keeper. Keeper looks like we will though. We don't have another type of midfielder, which I know, Owen, you said that's very unlikely. To be fair, now we've got one, so you're right on that. The outgoings haven't been good enough. We don't make enough money from sales. Yeah, this is far too early to be praising. Again, it shows how far the standards have fallen. The fact that we're saying, oh my God, we've got a player in January. Oh my God, in June, a player's going to be on the tour. oh, it's Ten Hag. Ten Hag actually really wants him. Well done, you got him. For Man United, man. Like that's supposed to be minimum order. Look how Arsenal are moving now. Like, do you know what I mean? That's when you praise consistent backing, consistent top targets, breaking your transfer records, being proactive. You know, obviously, yeah, it all needs to work out in the end, but you can't blame Kroenkes and Edu and the people who make the decisions at Arsenal. Can't label that they're not backing their manager and they're not having a clear plan and executing it quick, swift, bang, 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 bang. So that's when you praise, not when you pay over 15 million than you should do for Mason Mount as your first signing. That's not the priority. So it's still a decent signing, but it's got to be the first. It's got to be a catalyst for more, which I'm not saying it's not going to be, by the way. I'm not saying, this window is going to be absolutely terrible. Like all windows, I wait till it shuts, till it slams shut to really judge it. But yeah, praise.
But there's different elements that go into a positive window, isn't it? Obviously, it's prices, but as you mentioned, it's timing. You know, you could argue last season, yeah, we got players, and the majority of them worked. You know, and you go, and on the face of it, you go, oh, well done, you got the players. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but it's the timing too.
Exactly, it's the timing of it. And when you look at what we like screaming out, everything was about. This is why this feels bad. Everything was about Osimhen and Kane all through the season. United's number one thing is going to be that, and maybe it's a little naive of us as fans, because what happens is we automatically assume that the first player to walk through the door is going to be Kane or Osimhen or Højlund, because it's the number one priority. That's who you're going to get first. That's who the majority of the money goes on. Now, I understand in terms of the market, Harry Kane's not available. Victor Osimhen's too expensive. We probably should have, known that all along, because as it was getting towards the end of the season, we did kind of start saying that actually, yeah, we want Kane or Osimhen. It ain't going to be any of them. Can't afford any of them. And even if we can afford Kane, which, okay, we wanted to outlay the best part of 90 anyway, Daniel Levy's always going to say no. So actually, we were never going to get either. So it shouldn't be a surprise to Man United. But later on in the window, just again, if we get the striker or strikers we need, then you say they've addressed it. It's just because the market that it is and how hard it is to get a top-notch striker right now, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult with the money that we've got and the market that it is. So as long as we do get a striker or one or two, then, Mason Mount, yeah, cool. But we have to get the strikers, man. And it may come a bit later.
It's true. I've got mad building work going on, by the way, outside me.
Oh, right.
That's why I'm playing the mute button. I'm playing the mute button like a fiddle. I'm like this.
Yeah. Well, I thought sirens. I thought maybe they've pulled up outside Owens. The sirens are just actually there, which is fine. We'll keep it moving. McTominay and Fred exits. I mean, Simon Stone spoke very
basically just
that.
saying that United are open for offers for Fred. Certainly Fred. McTominay, the club would be happy to keep him, but he is unlikely to be retained if they have an acceptable offer in, but he's not considered a first choice. So basically they're both up for sale this summer. Fred's more likely to go than McTominay. Obviously Fred's been linked to Fulham. McTominay hasn't really been linked anywhere. It's been rumours he could go to like a West Ham or something like that. But if United were looking to sell McTominay, then it would be, again, a top price that they would be looking for, certainly.
Yeah, Minna just put in the chat, I would take Pogba back.
I saw that. That's crazy.
Come on, Minna, man. Come on, Minna. That's crazy. Come on. Why?
Current Pogba?
Why? Come on, man. Come on. Even Juventus want to get rid of him, man. He's on it's quite sad to see, actually. Like, he's, can't stay fit.
Yeah, it's just, he can't stay fit. And... Did we not learn anything from that? Just that circus surrounding him, and some of it wasn't fair. I get that, but at the same time, again, because people are like, Pogba would work so well in this Ten Hag system. Has Pogba played a full game since he left? I think maybe it was like 2 or something like that.
Yeah, and it was sad to see him. When he was really upset.
Really sad to see.
Again, you don't want to see that, but
if United were to look at that again, that would be.
Come on. What even made Minna say that? That was just so unprovoked. Why did she say that?
Yeah, that was just like an outburst.
She's like, damn, guys. Yeah, damn. You're damn right. You're getting rinsed for that. That's an awful take. Why on earth would you take Pogba back? I need you to explain that. Oh, disgrace. Cheap. Pure red cards. Pure red flags. Honestly. Minna. Casper has been a member for 11 months. So don't get me wrong. I like Mount. But if I see official statement today with a picture of the corner flag just for it to be about Mount, I will cry. No, it won't be. If it's going to be, yeah, when it's just the corner flag, that's a club statement.
We've signed Mount.
Yeah, don't worry about that, Casper. When we announce Mount, it ain't going to be that. It's going to be, it'll probably be just a text because they haven't got him in a kit. It will be just like a graphic in red with the Mason Mount writing on the front. Mason is a red or something like that. I don't know. Mo Salad says, we should go for Ivan Toney. Eric Ten Hag loves a target man who can play with his back to goal. Would probably cost us 30 to 40 million given the ban. Rashi can be the striker till the ban is over. Prem proven. Stop gap until January. Rashi is the striker and then try and get through. You having that, Owen?
We can't afford to take that risk.
Yeah,
we can't.
It's a long
last
time
year,
to go
people, and you can't compare it to last year, of course, as well, because remember we had the World Cup break. Usually, you'd be playing a load of games between November and January 1st. Of course, last year we didn't. Remember, last season was atypical when it came to the schedule. So we just, by that point, we could be well out of the top 4 race. So I wouldn't go that route.
Cam says, what picture would they use for the David De Gea termination announcement? This guy. They'll probably use a picture of him holding the Premier League.
Contract's not been terminated. It expired.
Yeah, exactly. Keep him changing the terminology. WJ Barrett says, we have 2 months to make more signings. Plenty of time. Listen, I started doing that last year, WJ Barrett, and then I had to change it swiftly as the months went by. But as the weeks went by. But you're right. You were right. WJ Barrett also says, Pogba FC videos all over Twitter. Pointless. Dead. Yeah, and the McTominay, SK says, Pogba on a free. What do you say to that? No, is what I would say. I'd say no. Just leave it where it is. Ahmed Dosan says, Jujba is finished. Yeah, it's not nice to see the demise of a player like that, but it's not it, is it? It's not it. Yeah, the McTominay Fred situation, like we know, we need exits, and I think that definitely at least one of those two go. At least if two go, there's no reason why we're not bringing in.
You'd have to get someone else.
Yeah. But, and you look at Donny, he's not going to be there. So there's two more midfielders to go minimum.
It's just whether we sell the players. I just think there's just not a confidence, is there, that United can effectively sell players. So because of that, you have to be like, there's a high chance both of them are going to be there next season. Let's be honest. You can't rule it out. You can't.
No, you can't rule it out. You definitely can't rule it out. Guys, smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. As per every single day throughout this transfer window, we're all across it. So any breaking news, anything significant, if there's a Mason Mount announcement as well and statement, of course, we'll be live for that and or anything else. So, yes, we'll see you again very soon. Big up to everyone joining in the morning show. Have a great day. We're out of here. Peace.